Hey everybody, good morning. Good to see you. Hope you had a good week. One more week of this kind of quarantine and changes of life that make it difficult. I hope you're adjusting better than we are.
I feel like this is lesson 749 online.
I have to admit, it is definitely more challenging for me, at least so far, to teach without response from a crowd. I enjoy the
Start
feedback.
waving somebody.
That's right, and as much as you think it doesn't matter, I do appreciate the comments. I feel in some part like I'm connecting, as weird as that sounds. And last week we talked on being the good, and hopefully you were able to find a challenge for yourself, and you're able to say, here's what I'm going to do to contribute and to help be the good, because we need to be the light and the beacon that points people back to living a good life and showing what Christ can do through us. I think Michelle had a couple thoughts.
Yeah, so a lot of you have been helping us with reaching out to the hospitals. And so this week we were able to deliver things to a different hospital, one we had not been to before. We took some things to the night shift, and we got very positive response. They let us know that the night shift is often overlooked, and this hospital had been as well. They enjoyed everything we gave them. It was gone very quickly, and we're planning another trip back there soon. So thank you. Thanks for those who helped. Another thing that we were able to do is just drop off some small little snacks to a few church members and just let them know that we're thinking about them and that we care for them even though we cannot see them. It was definitely a drop it off on the doorstep, run back to the car, text them to let them know it was there. But it was nice to at least be able to wave through the window to people.
And the weird thing is, even though it was a little inconvenient for us, we enjoyed doing it. Mm-hmm. But I actually felt better after doing it.
Yeah.
I felt like I was contributing and just feeling like, I'm being a better person than maybe sometimes we feel like we are at heart. So even if you don't feel like I'm up for this, or don't feel like I don't know if I'm a good enough person, if you put forth the effort and the actions, I think you'll surprise yourself. And your own self-worth will increase and rise. I think you'll start to believe, you know what, I can make a difference. Don't sell yourself short. So just make sure we continue to do that, but I have really missed the interaction and seeing everybody. Again, we love each other, we love our family, but a lot of people are missing out on different things. I'm sure some of you are struggling with work and not being able to work maybe, or your finances are tight. I apologize, I hate that. I think that's affecting a lot of people right now. And some of you are trying to homeschool your kids. Thankfully, our kids are smart enough and old enough.
They're actually teaching me.
Yeah.
We dissected an eyeball a couple nights ago. It was great.
And I did not help with that. But I know, man, if we were doing this to our kids when they were younger, it's very time consuming. I think it's a good use of time. Very time consuming. So I appreciate all the parents out there who are working with the kids and trying to educate them and homeschool them. So thank you for doing that. And today I have a different challenge for you. And again, that's a pretty simple challenge, but one I think could be helpful. We're making memories right now. You're making memories today. Mm-hmm. They could be good memories. They may not be very memorable memories. But regardless, they are memories. Maybe some of you have driven to work on a morning where you're tired or preoccupied. You get to work and don't even realize that you're there. You have no recollection of the drive. Maybe at the end of the day, you've had a busy day. Doesn't mean you wasted time, but you've been so preoccupied in other places or not engaged. At the end of the day, you realize, wow, I don't have much recollection of today. And some people, they live their lives on autopilot. Some it's get up, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to bed, and repeat. And their days really are a blur. They don't really have any distinction one from the next. And this could be a very depressing way to live. And even though you don't think I'm depressed, that's not what I'm trying to get at. But you don't really have a purpose or a meaning. And if we were to look at the scrapbook of what you've compiled over the last month, the last 6 months, it may be a pretty boring scrapbook. You getting up, going to work, sitting on the couch, watching TV, repeat. And you may think, wow, I need to get out more. Maybe it's true. I don't know if any of you remember the old days when you had scrapbooks, those big, heavy books that
We have a lot of them.
We do. We have a lot, and my grandmother, she's now 106, she used to make them for us, and we still have those. And we have been at people's homes before where they pull out that scrapbook, and it's not bad for the first few minutes. But when it continues on and you're reliving every scrapbook of their entire family, it can be a long visit. And you don't really enjoy it as much. Why? Because you're not engaged. You're not represented there. You didn't live those memories. You're just looking and viewing someone else's memories. But how many of you have ever looked at a scrapbook or scrolled through your photos on your phone or the memories on your phone or an old album, and you've instantly been flooded with nostalgia? Warm memories of the past that you've made with your friends. Maybe back a friend you haven't seen in years when you were a kid. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it is a family you have now or children they were younger. Maybe it's a past life almost, it seems, you had when you look back and you were a teenager. But you're flooded with those memories, and boy, when you look through those old pictures or those old scrapbooks, you find yourself just immersed in good memories. And you thought, wow, what a good time I had. We can all have that today. Are you making any good memories today? You know, memories come from those that you share life with. I have a whole lot of memories of my wife. And I actually think right now we're going to put through some memories on the video itself. Michelle, I think you were going to...
Yeah, so some people have previously given us pictures of things that have happened in their lives, and it's always fun for us to see these little snapshots basically of what's going on in your life. And so we would encourage you now, if you want to put a picture in the comments so we can all enjoy seeing a little bit of what's going on with you. It can be you by yourself, you with a pet, you trying to cook a new dish, or with your family, whatever you're involved in right now. We would love to see a little bit of what's going on in your life.
I can put a picture of me cooking a new dish.
Scrambled eggs that are so dry.
They're really good.
They're
and there's
terrible.
a whole lot of black pepper on them too. Every morning.
Aw.
Killer breakfast. But maybe you do have memory, and I'm not talking about, it doesn't have to be you climbing Mount Everest. It could be you just doing something that you enjoy that 15 years from now you would look back and think, I remember that. Could be you and your friend taking a walk. It could be you and just your home, like she said, with a pet. Anything. Because those are shared experiences. You're sharing life. You're doing something. You're engaged. And I think that's what we all want. You want to be engaged. You want to share life with other people. That's what makes life feel like it's worth living. That's what's hard on people right now, the distance. And when we're not engaged socially, when you're not engaged in life, it can lead to frustration. It can lead to depression. It can lead to isolation. It can absolutely lead you to a place you don't want to go. And I just thought of a couple verses. I'll mention one. I think you were going to read a...
Yes. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot.
This is tough. If you have a good past with someone and they like who you are, the memory of the just is blessed. When they think of your name, they think of good things. How many of you have a name that when you hear it, you're like, oh, no way. If we were going to name our kids something, I promise if she had a really bad experience with a person named a certain name, say, hey, do you want to name our child this? And she would say, oh, absolutely not. It's not because we do or don't like the actual name. It's we don't like the association with that name. Many of you probably don't name your kids Adolf because the association could be a negative one. You may think, oh, I don't want to do that. Now maybe you have a endearing family member who is named that, so it has a whole different memory for you. What memory are you leaving behind? Memory of the just is blessed. The name of the wicked shall rot. You don't want to have someone who has a negative feeling every time they hear your name. That would be horrible. I remember coming back from Alaska a couple years ago. My family was there, and I'm usually the guy that's detailed and really focused and like, yes, we're going to pull this off. And so I had everything planned out for this trip. The trip was actually a very good trip, and so I wanted to make sure everything was right. We planned the last day. We were all the way up north. I just dropped the name of
Oh, don't ask me.
Denali. We're up by Denali. We came back from Denali. We're heading to Anchorage to the airport. We checked in, dropped our rental car off. Everything was great. We had plenty of time. I walked to the counter. The lady said, "We cannot find your flights." And I couldn't understand that. I said, "Ma'am, I'll show you the flights." So as I opened my phone and showed her our flights, she got a puzzled look on her face and she said, "Sir, these flights are for tomorrow."
This is the best story ever.
I couldn't believe it. I had gotten there a day early. And I had no idea what to do. I had already turned the rental car in. It's too late to go out and drive very far away. We had a few hours we could get like an Uber and maybe go do something and come back. But ultimately, we had to find something to fill that time, and we spent the night at an airport. The lady was very nice and got us on an early morning flight, and we did that.
With a connection.
With a connection through Seattle, and so we got to go see Seattle again. But it was a long trip back. I felt horrible. I did not sleep the entire night. I told my family, "You guys can try to sleep." I beat myself up the whole night. Now they were good about it. Now they laughed about it.
Oh, yeah, we rubbed his face in it.
But they weren't mean, they weren't unkind, but I felt terrible. But now it's become a memory. Mm-hmm. And maybe you have something that was a mistake. Maybe you have something that at one point in your life you thought, "Oh, it's terrible," but now it's a memory. And you look back almost with fondness that it happened because it gave you a chance to create a memory.
We're now one of those weird families that slept in the airport.
That's true. Mm-hmm. It was definitely weird. And it's not very comfortable, so I would not recommend it. And it got pretty cold. Mm-hmm. At 2 or 3 in the morning, I was pretty cold. I'm usually not cold. I was pretty cold. Great experience. So sometimes you can take a negative experience that you think is horrible and turn it out to be a good memory. Why? Because you're engaged and I shared it with someone. Are you engaging in life? Are you living today engaged where you can say, "What can I do today? What can I find positive today? Who am I sharing life with today?" And maybe you're a single person that lives on themselves. You can still engage. You can still FaceTime someone. You can still text someone. You can still get on some sort of digital platform where you can talk to someone today. You can still make a few visits where you leave a note at their door saying, "I'm thinking of you." You can find a way to engage. But don't fall into the trap of isolating. You make good memories out of engaging with other people. You make good memories out of sharing life with people. And you're going to make more memories than your mind can even retain. But when you're reminded of those, it brings back so many cherished memories. My wife and I had an experience like that this week with Pete's video I think you're going to share.
Yeah, so Pete, of course, is a senior in high school. And we had been planning an open house for him after graduation, which hopefully will still happen and you will all be invited. But in preparation for that, I had been going through 18 years of pictures of Pete. And I pulled the ones that were sort of most meaningful. It was very hard to choose. I sent them in to Craig, who put them together in a slideshow, and we got it back this week. So we sat there for 20 minutes probably, going through just looking at all of these pictures coming through with memories of Pete. And it was hard not to cry, actually. There were just kind of an overwhelming amount. All those emotions came back to me, seeing his little friends when they were at birthday parties when he was 7, and it was a really meaningful few moments for me.
And they were meaningful to us because we were there and we were engaged.
Yeah.
If she would have completed that video just highlighting Pete because it's his senior year, and if I would not have been in any of those events, I would have watched that video feeling left out, detached, and full of regret. Mm-hmm. But the reason it was meaningful and emotional to us is we were engaged and we were there. You need to engage and be there. Be present. If you are a friend, be engaged. Share life with your friends. If you're a married person, be engaged with that spouse. Share life with that spouse. If you look back 15 years from now at past pictures, you should be able to do it side by side, sitting on a couch, reminiscing and flooded with good memories and emotions because you're engaged. Let me encourage you to do that. If you're a parent, please don't miss out. There's a whole lot of time and money that we invested in creating those memories that we saw flash through that screen. Mm-hmm. And right now, if you ask me, boy, wouldn't you like to have that money back? Nope. And I don't think you will either. If you are engaged and you're making memories that you want to make, you won't have a life of regret. You may sacrifice personally, sometimes at great cost, to create those memories. Mm-hmm. And you won't. I know some of you have taken family vacations recently, or some single people have taken exciting vacations in the past year. And when you come back, you know what? You're excited. You want to show me the pictures and you want to share it with me, and I'm happy for you. I'm thrilled that you're making memories and enjoying life. Don't live a life of regret because you chose not to get engaged. And if you're a person that's more introverted, that's okay, but find a way to get engaged. If you look back 15 years ago and it's you sitting on a couch by yourself watching TV, that's not going to bring back a lot of emotions unless you look and say, boy, I'm a loser. And I don't want you to think that. Mm-hmm. So be engaged. And I was going to lead me to the next verse that I had, if you want to read that one for us.
Okay, I'm going to tag on to the last one you had. I am an introvert as well. I'm never going to be the life of the party. In fact, if I walk into a crowded room, I tend to kind of shrink back and figure out what's going on and where can I sit where nobody's going to notice me. But as an introvert, I still have an obligation to help other people. So for me, that's finding one or two people at a time, where I still then can help someone. I can become attached and feel like we're helping each other is usually what happens. But you can't just pass everything off on, well, I'm an introvert, so that doesn't apply to me. It really does. Okay, Psalm 118:24. This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
The simple verse, one if you wrote down, and I could teach on this verse probably every couple months, and it'd be good for me, probably good for you. This is the day the Lord hath made. So he's declaring, God, you made this day. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It's one of those forced words, you will enjoy this. This is like when your mom made you dinner and you were in a pouty little kid and she put it in front of you, she said, you will enjoy this dinner, right? And you had to just kind of smile and do that. Or one of those when you're taking a family photo and everyone's there, she's like, everyone smile like you mean it, right? One of those. This is kind of the tone of that verse. You will enjoy it. It could be a pretty tough day, but you're going to find something to enjoy about it. What a good challenge. Because basically when I make good memories, you know who benefits? Me. When I allow bad memories to creep in and destroy my day, who's it hurt? Me. I can't control bad circumstances, but I can control my perspective about those circumstances. And you can read so many books of people who have endured very hard circumstances. And the reason they come out on top, and we read their books, is because they chose to say, I was dealt a tough hand, but I'm going to make this a good memory. You don't allow one bad mistake or a negative circumstance in your life to keep you from making good memories. Maybe you have had a bad day. Maybe you've had a failed marriage. Maybe you have been a bad parent for a period of time. Maybe you did go off on an addiction binge and hurt a lot of your friendships, and you think, oh, I'm going to hang my head. Don't hang your head. Pull your head up and say, I'm going to make good memories now. And then when you look back at who you were and now who you've become, you'll be reminded of how much you've grown, and you'll be so glad that you chose to take a negative circumstance or a tough time and say, no, it's going to be a good memory. And Michelle and I, we looked at those pictures, we got done and we looked at each other, and I thought, I made mistakes as a dad. I wasn't a perfect dad. If I could go back, there are things I would do differently. But I wouldn't trade that opportunity for anything. And I wouldn't trade those memories for anything. because I was engaged and I shared life. We encourage you to do that today. Don't be so hard that you pull into a shell. Share life. Don't let one negative memory kill you from making future memories. The story that came to my mind here was Jesus Christ. We talked about 2 weeks ago with Easter and 3 weeks ago with Good Friday and Palm Sunday. Jesus was there hanging on a cross. His followers saw him die. 3 days later, he resurrected from the tomb and rose again. They saw the empty tomb. But the coolest thing for me is he could have left them hanging with that memory of, and we saw him die. We know he's risen, but he didn't. He came back and for 40 days showed himself to them multiple times to say, yes, I am alive. I did beat death, but also to give them good memories. He went and found them as they were fishing and made them breakfast. And as they came in, he fed them breakfast. It says he was shown to 600 people at one time. Hey, everybody. He was the life of the party once again. He made positive memories to leave them with a positive memory in mind. And if you've made mistakes, and if you've ruined friendships or been a bad parent, or maybe you failed as a husband or failed as a wife, you don't need to leave and end on that note. Go back and make good memories. Find a way to reconcile, or find a way to go out and say, I'm going to create some new friends and I'm not going to repeat those past mistakes, and make your life one now where in a few years you look back on your video reel of pictures and you're flooded with nostalgia and good memories because you chose to turn over a good leaf and say, I'm going to live my life this way. So I challenge you, as you're in a tough time of life, a tough little stretch here, sometimes of isolation, maybe not having enough money, maybe pinching every penny, maybe it's not knowing what's going to happen when we pull out of this. Are we going to come out of this? Am I going to get sick? You have all this apprehension, tension, fear, worry. Don't let that rob you from making good memories. It can be as simple as you finding your spouse, finding your kids, or you by yourself taking a walk and saying, this is the day that the Lord hath made. I'm going to rejoice today and be glad in it. And if you do that today and tomorrow and the next day, a few months from now, you'll look back and realize, I like my life. You know why? Because you changed. You decided to make this a good life and one worth living. So who would be in your scrapbook today? Is God in your scrapbook? If you look back over the last few months, is he a part? If you're married, is your spouse in your scrapbook? Is she a vital part? Is he a vital part? Are your kids there, or is it just you and your friends? Are your kids a vital part of the scrapbook? Who's left out? Is anybody? Is there someone left out that should be there? Are you missing out on a part of your life that you're going to have regret? Then don't beat yourself up over it. Just change it. Fix it. Are you withdrawing from life because of a mistake or a failed job, failed relationship? Don't. Go out there, make new memories. The memory of the just is blessed. The name of the wicked shall rot. Leave a good impression behind, good memories behind. The happy people that come and make good memories are the ones you want to spend your life with. Be one of those people. Shelley, you have any final thoughts for everybody?
We love you. Look forward to seeing you again. Send us your memories. Let us see what's going on with you right now. Love to see your faces, even through photos.
That is true. Every comment you make, and it's just you walking down the street, send that in because you're making a memory and sharing with us. And we feel like we're kind of vicariously living through you. We'll probably share a couple of ours, and we'll do that. But thank you very much for watching and joining us. Hopefully soon we're back together. Please be consistent, be faithful, and do right. And we enjoy you joining us, and thanks for being here. Take care.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Love you.